So although my pencil collecting is mostly going to be on the cheap end of the spectrum, I did want to check out of pure curiosity, what Palomino Blackwing pencils are about. These are expensive pencils for US pricing. I paid $15 for this sample kit. It's called Audition. And $5 shipping, so really $20, 4 pencils, $5. That's a lot for a pencil. I will not be doing this very often because it'll cost too much, and it's just not my thing. But I wanted to know what it was all about, what these pencils were all about, and so I'll show you what they are like from my notes. But the first thing that I wanted to mention is, of course, when I mention something that is this expensive for a pencil, many people are going to be like, this is crazy, I would never do that. And that's perfectly fine. In my case, my word is more like seldom do that. But I have to say, after using all 4 pencils, I mean, obviously impressed with the quality with which they're made. They're manufactured in Japan, and I think the wood is coming from California. And you will find this with many pencils, that the wood comes, a lot of the wood actually comes from China for many pencils throughout the world. And then there's a manufacturing process by which some things are done in the host country where the pencils are made, be it Germany, the US, or anywhere else. In the US for sure, a lot of US pencils have Chinese wood. That just comes with the territory. So of course, for an expensive product, it comes in a really nice box, 4 pencils, and the pencils are actually pretty long. I mean, these have already been used, but the pencil, when it comes in the box, it's all the way to the end of the box. Now, the story for Blackwing, it used to be made by, I think it was Eberhard Faber, and then they stopped making it, and then of course they got bought by Faber-Castell. But then people wanted them, and they became expensive in the aftermarket. And then this company, Palomino, was able to get the rights to the word Blackwing, to the product, and then basically re-engineer from scratch what they should have been. And so this is really like a recreated pencil. This is not an original Blackwing. So you get 4 pencils in the box, and then this one right here, the so-called natural, is supposed to be the lightest, what you would call your like HB. Then after that comes the 602, which is a little bit darker. Then comes the Pearl, which is now more on like your 2B range. And then your matte or bold is really more on the what I would call almost like a Musgrave News pencil. And so I was very surprised. Before I used these pencils, I thought it was going to be that I was going to try these pencils and not like what would be like the HB, then the HB going towards B, then really the 2B and the 2B plus. And I thought that I would like this one the best. But in reality, what happened is I'm more sort of in the middle, and I would say if I was going to put it to the point to like the ranking of what I came out with, I would say my number 1, very close, these two are very close, the 602 and the Blackwing Pearl, with just a slight lead for the Pearl. And then actually last would be what I thought was going to be my favorite, the matte, and it's because it's really like news. It's just too dark. There is such a thing for me as too dark. And so really that's my ranking. So for me, again, everybody's different. So I think Pearl is my number 1, then the 602 is my number 2, then the natural is my number 3, and then the matte is my number 4. So now let's show you what these look like. So the natural looks like this. The EFs are natural pages, and everything before it I believe was Apsara. I always come back to Apsara and then do my next test. So it's it looks great. By the way, all 4, they write very softly. Of course, it's very well engineered. The pencil, I mean, it's expensive. They spend a lot of time on the quality of the graphite. And so the graphite is really high quality for all of them. Then when I went from EF from the extra fine, from the natural to the 602, sure enough, the 602 gets a little darker. Okay. Then I kept going with 602. See how that's dark? Very nice, very nice. I'm actually almost leaning to the 602 because then when pearl comes along, pearl's a little darker, but it's hard to tell the difference for my case. Then when I look at the pearls, oh, and I forgot to grade when I made this video, and I missed a couple of things. I should have said that when I made the video for this section. This video is before in the playlist, so in my videos that I make, so for the math itself. So yeah, these are pearl, and I really liked it, and I kept using it. Yeah, it's dark. It's definitely a little darker than the 602. So I think pearl, yeah, pearl wins, but not by a lot. Not by a lot. And then when I started the soft one, the matte, it just got too dark, and and then the writing itself is not as clear as I would like it with pearl. Yeah, so these are all, and I got those. That's great. And so yeah, these are all. And then I went back and I did a little more pearl because I'm still going back to pearl. And then I just used all. So basically, that's what I have for the Palomino Blackwings. Of course, these are pencils that are really popular, for people who collect them, for sure. People pay a lot of money for the older ones, the ones that are original. In my case, I'm more on the peasant side of things. And so I think I'm going to get me some more pearls and 602s at some point in time in the future that I cannot foretell. It could be as long as like a year from now.